Hello, everyone.
Good evening. Good evening. What we got, huh?
Welcome to the Jonathan and Jahan Show, everyone. I'm Jahan Walker.
And I'm Jonathan Walker.
And today's topic is going to be life after 40. But before we get into our topics today, we wanted to go ahead and do a brief introduction again for those who missed our podcast last week. Kind of tell you a little bit about us and why we decided to do this podcast. And Jonathan, I'll let you go ahead and go first.
So I'm just going to explain how we met. How we met. I want to give a good shout out to the great Coach Smith. So I was in track practice. It was my junior year. And I saw this sweet little young lady trying to throw the shot put. And I said, Coach, I think I really like her. And he said, you need to say something to her, boss. And I said, so I'm a little nervous. And he kind of put the bug in her ear for me. And me and Jahan, we went to the prom. But really, we didn't do anything after that.
We didn't date after that.
Well, we didn't date after that, yeah. And MySpace came around. And I was making beats at the time, and she supported my song and put it on her page. And I just thought that was so nice of her to do that. But then Facebook comes around. Now she moved back home to Nashville. So this is like 2012. And we got back around December of 2012.
Yeah. Started talking, going out. I was planning a party for my brother's 30th birthday. Oh, yeah. And Jonathan's, of course, if people who knows, a local DJ in Nashville. And I had tried to reach out to him to do some things for me prior. My company had a Christmas party. I was looking for him to kind of DJ for that.
Yeah.
And I was doing neo soul shows, poetry jams, and I wanted to get him a DJ for that. But none of those things, really popped off the way we planned on it.
Yeah.
So when my brother's birthday came around, I figured I would get Jonathan to help me, and we DJ. He DJ the party.
Let me give a good shout out to Mike Walk in the house. We got sweet Aunt Eunice in the house.
Hey.
And then we have Khalid always in the house with the new Master Built grill. He got that new grill I want. I was like, man, post all the pictures of all that shoulder and brisket and nice riblets and ribs that she's going to cook on that nice thing.
Right. Now, you guys remember last week I had my gavel to keep Jonathan on task because he got off task just a minute ago. But Jonathan, you finished your story. So we connected to do the birthday party in December 2012.
And we made it official New Year's.
Yeah.
We made it official New Year's, and here we are today.
Yeah. So we took a 17-year or 16-year intermission between the prom and adulthood, little. We both, of course, went on our separate ways. Jonathan had, of course, loved prior to me. I guess that would be the right word to say. And I had relationships before him. And so I can say that I was a little guarded when Jonathan and I decided to start dating again.
Oh,
and it's the truth because of the past experiences I had prior to. And so that's one of the reasons why I was curious or interested in doing this podcast, kind of about, I was single technically between my 20s and mid 30s. So Jonathan and I got married at 35.
Yep.
So when we came together after life had kind of given us these experiences, we learned from these experiences, we're able to kind of use that to cultivate what our relationship is today.
Yeah.
Good, bad, ugly. I don't think, where I was prior to us getting together, we would have the bond that we have now. Had we gotten together at 17 after our junior prom.
Yeah.
And so taking those experiences and experiences after, being married after, our 30s and entering our 40s together is why we want to do this podcast and kind of give people that story.
Yeah.
And that background.
And plus, I was finding myself.
Yeah.
So when I do my movie, it's going to be Jonathan is finding himself.
Oh, my God.
So you probably won't be in it until the end.
And that's fine. I'm good with that. Trust me. I am totally good with that.
That's what I found. Hey, I'm a little under the weather. I don't get sick. Jahan been sick for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And then the grass guy came and he was cutting thorns and got me.
Yeah, I mean, because what happened, we had kind of cleaned all the pollen off of the cars in the house and everything.
Ooh-wee.
Well, I did. And so I think with that, him cutting the grass, Jonathan, Mr. I don't have allergies is now suffering from allergies. So
Little under the, I'm the sick and shut in right about now.
yeah.
So please holler at the sick and shut. Hey, want to give a good shout out to T Young. I appreciate you coming on in. T Young is in the house.
What's up?
Him and the first lady.
All right, then. I guess it's obvious. We usually do our broadcast on Sundays, but being under the weather, I was sick. Jonathan wasn't feeling well, and we didn't want to come on and, sound all groggy. I'm feeling a little bit better. Jonathan is still a little bit under the weather, but we're going to get through it because we didn't want to put something out and say we were going to do something and not follow through. So that's why we're here. This is our second broadcast, so it's not perfection yet. So be patient with us. But yeah. Again,
well, it's live and direct.
It's live and direct and unfiltered. That is true. And so y'all just bear with it. All right.
So what we got on the agenda?
We've gone. So the topics for this broadcast again is life after 40.
You know what? I got a question.
Go ahead.
I need y'all to answer this one too. Now, I don't know if y'all know this story yet, but it just happened about 3 days ago in Roswell, Georgia. There was a daycare, a Kids R Us, right? It was a Kids R Us who was caught on camera serving all the white kids their food, but the black kids didn't have any food. So, of course, when it spread like wildfire, Kids Are Kids did take their name off the building and said that they have to actually work independently without the company's name, which is a good thing. Now, here's my question. If you find out your daycare is feeding all the, the white kids and not feeding all the kids equally, but segregating your kids from eating, and they just sitting there patiently.
Yeah, waiting to be served.
So I'm just wondering, anybody with kids out there, how would that make you feel? What would be your reaction?
Yeah, and if you want to give us a call or, send us an email while we're on live or want to come on during the live.
Or say the comments.
Or say it in the comments. Or you can give us a call at 770-376-7230. The number is 770-376-7230. It's also scrolling down the bottom as well.
Yeah, I see you, Steven. Come on in, Renata. Just in case y'all just came in, I just want to say it real quick one more time. It was a daycare in Roswell, Georgia. Kids R Us, who was serving the white kids their lunch, and the black kids were sitting at the table with no lunch. It was caught on camera. What would you do if you were to look on camera and see that all the meddling skinned kids watching all the other kids eat? Please, somebody let us know.
Yeah, I see Steven's message. He said he whooping ass.
Oh,
I think that's fair.
They ain't serving food, but I'm gonna serve.
Yeah. I think like that's fair.
Well, I see you, Megan. Come on in.
And I say that's fair. Not having kids, but having kids in my life that I love, like they were my own.
Yeah.
I don't like people look at them crazy when they're being loud or playing. Of course, you have to respect people's boundaries and their peace and whatever.
Right.
They're children. And regardless, if you're in a profession where you're taking care of someone else's children, you got to put your biases and all that stuff behind and take care of the kids. Kids are innocent and they're off limits. And so I think I would have done what those parents did. I would have, for them to go find a lawyer before popping off, I think should be commended.
Yeah, because I'm popping off.
Yeah.
I'm popping off. Lawyer later.
Yeah.
Where LL at? Who is that? Lawyer later. I'm popping off.
Yeah. So just kind of go through again. The topic is.
I see you, Young Tuck.
The topic again is life after 40. That's what week 2. I know the slide said it was broadcasting on Sunday, but again we were under weather and didn't want to come on and not be prepared. But talking about the blessings and the challenges of approaching 40, once you hit 40, dealing with relationships, your careers, managing your money, family life, marriage. Again, with Jonathan and I getting together in our mid-30s, that was a transition, going from being single for 30 plus years to now being husband and wife. we want your guys' input, and we'll give you ours as well.
Now we did get some responses now.
Okay, I'll go ahead.
Now Khalees said, now that's messed up.
Mm-hmm.
Now there's gonna be some consequences for every staff member there.
Yeah.
Most likely there's gonna be some furniture getting moved. I can agree.
Yeah.
Tuck said, what up though?
What up though? I don't think even being fired is enough. I don't think those people should even be allowed to work with kids again, ever.
But this just goes to show you the subliminal mental segregation that happens in America from a young age.
Right.
I know y'all have all seen the little doll thing that they did where they felt like, you know, the little kids felt like the black doll was ugly and the white doll was pretty.
Right.
Now, I'm not on here for no racist bashing, but hey, man, come on now. Come on now. I mean, and then one excuse they tried to say it was dietary restrictions. Stop it. Stop it.
Right.
So I guess all the chocolate meddling kids didn't have dietary restrictions, but everybody else did. Stop it.
Right.
Somebody stop it, please.
Yeah. So I know we mentioned before. Was there any more comments? I'm sorry, before I move on.
Oh, that's it.
Okay. Yeah.
Shout out to Jimmy.
Hey, Jimmy. We mentioned last week that we're gonna have a segment where we're gonna be featuring someone who, you know, we admire and respect in the community of Nashville, and that's Nike Latrice. She's gonna be coming on our podcast weekly to do her affirmations. You guys may have seen some of her postings if you follow her on Facebook about her 366 makeup tips for women.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna show you guys a little clip. If I can get it to play the segment that we were interested in and wanted to have her be a part of our broadcast. So give me 1 second here.
Let me know. I'll turn mine now.
All right. You see it?
You know, we're a little behind
on your screen.
With this, mama, we're trying to get this together. Megan said the meddling kids require seasoning on their food. That's the dietary restriction.
So you think they're getting their season together?
Right.
Not on your Mac.
On my Mac.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on, y'all. Hey, this is what happened. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's go.
You ready?
Yep.
Go ahead.
Even after the virus left their systems, there was still.
Oh, wait a minute. Why is it playing on mine and hers?
To restart,
You sure?
Yeah. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
I don't know what you want me to do now.
Bring on.
Nike, can you hear us?
Cut your computer off.
I can, yes.
Huh?
Nike, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
I can. Yes.
You go ahead, Jonathan. Bring her on. I brought her on. She's on. I gotta get back in. Nike, sorry about that. We are trying to.
You are fine.
Jonathan is watching the delay on Facebook and forgetting that we are live. So give us a minute. We're gonna bring you on here. You should be on if you can.
Okay, go ahead,
see
Nike.
your screen.
Yeah, go ahead.
I am here.
Okay, there you go. All right. Sorry about that, you guys. Again, we are live, and so we're gonna have some bloopers. But Nike, we tried to play the video, I think with
Mm-hmm.
it being us on Facebook and on the StreamYard, it kind of didn't cut off. But tell us a little bit about your project and what it is you have going on.
Okay, well, 366 Makeup Tips of a Woman is something that I have been writing, been contemplating, thinking about for a little over 7 years. And it's just
Mm-hmm.
different quotes, different affirmations, if you will, just
Right.
things that would pop up in my head in my 30s, in my 40s, going through a marriage, going through a divorce, trying to find love again, being a single mom. And I said, you know what? I wanted to write a book. That was my first thing. I wanted to write a book. Then I thought about it. I said, I don't like reading long stories. So just let me do something that when someone reads it, that quote, that affirmation, it's going to capture you. You're going to be like, oh, wow, in just that quote or that affirmation. So I went through a lot this past, everybody did 2020. And I kept on saying, I need to write my book. I need to write my book. So I met with lots of people on this project. And it's like, Nike, no, these are affirmations. So it was birth 366 Makeup Tips of a Woman, and it talks about things that we go through as women that we don't talk about. You know, when mom and grandma said, what goes on in my house stays in my house.
Yeah.
And a lot of that is the reason why some women are going through the depression, suicide, and don't have anyone to talk to. But with this 366 with your girl Nike Latrice, we can talk about it in the calendar.
Mm.
Sounds amazing. And I
Mm-hmm.
have your little your box that I received from you. Thank you so
You're
much. And it
welcome.
is gorgeous. Here's the packaging, and I just want to kind of show you guys some of the items in the box. And you guys let me know, or Nike, you kind of explain some of the things that we
Right.
have up, and then you just go from there. So I have right here 366 makeup tips for a woman, daily affirmations. Tell us a little bit about that. Well, you know
So
you
that
discussed
is actually, well, let me just add just a little. That is actually a perpetual calendar, meaning
calendar.
366. Yes. So 366 is going to give you the leap year and one to grow on.
Mm,
Perpetual meaning that it does not expire. So every time you read this affirmational calendar, it's going to be like you're reading it over and over again for the first time. It's a keepsake, something you can pass
right.
down to your daughter, give to your aunt. And when you read it next year, you're going to get something different out of it every year because it's never ending.
Right. And so I
Mm-hmm.
have April 13th here, and it's love her or leave her. A strong woman holds herself to a higher standard. Our laws may be in place for the rest of society to know what is right and wrong, but a strong woman lives by her higher standards than those. She rises to the challenge. That means she makes the high board to any situation. So that was the one for April 13th. And so when we come back around next year, it might mean
Mhm.
something else, right?
Ah.
Totally different. Totally
Yeah,
different.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us how we can order this box or this box. If somebody wants this box, let me show you what else is in it. I have a candle here, and it
Mm-hmm.
smells wonderful.
What is the
See,
name of it? It is called
this
what?
candle is Make Her Mind.
Yes.
Chardonnay.
Chardonnay.
Yes.
Yes.
Like make her mind. Like when I say, "Hey, I need you to," could you please? Like,
Make your
oh,
mind up. Yeah.
make
Make her
her
mind up, not
mind.
make her mind. From he said, "Oh, make her mind, make her do what I want to say." That's not what we talking about.
You're right.
Far
Okay.
from it.
That's far from empowerment. You're right.
Yeah.
I know.
So I also have these fresh peony bath salts in the
Mm-hmm.
bath in the box. And why would we
Mm-hmm.
have this in the box?
So let me tell you a little bit about the affirmational kit. It is
Mm,
Facing Her affirmational kit. Of course, it comes with your 366 calendar, Chardonnay, which is a custom candle. I also make custom candles as well. So when you are reading your affirmation, I want you to be in a place where you're comfortable and relaxed so you can light your Chardonnay candle. Or if
yeah.
you're in the bathroom, you want to put those amazing salt beads in your tub so you can relax and kind of ponder on what you read earlier during the day. What else did
Hmm.
you get in there? Did you get your matcha tea in there too?
Is I just had a bag. Is that what that is?
Yes. So that is your honey
Ooh,
stick. And in the little
okay.
bag is your matcha tea. So
They come to
matcha tea, I love it because it's, you see it? Yes.
Mhm.
So that's really good for your skin as well as drinking. I drink matcha tea every day with my water, but you can take your honey stick and you can put your matcha in a bowl and make it a paste, and you can apply that to your face as a mask. Now, this is the thing about 366. Because I
Mhm.
have been an esthetician and a makeup artist for nearly 20 years. Oh my gosh, I'm telling my age. So
So
I
now about
decided
age.
so I decided to write something about the makeup and the aesthetics of the woman. So this
Mhm.
is just not about the makeup that I'm applying to your face or your skin. No, this is about the aesthetics, the inside, the makeup, the inside of a woman.
Nice. And
Mhm.
so I have these stickers, and I love these. I put them in my planners, in
Yes.
my notes, in my journals. And so yeah, we have it. Just do it. Be happy. Believe in
Mhm.
yourself. Never say die. Time
Mhm.
is money.
Yes, it is.
Amen. And I think the older that I have gotten, that has become more pertinent because you would always
Yes.
hear it, and it just never resonated until you was like, wait a minute, there's so
Mhm.
much more. Money is just not just the stuff that fold in most cases.
Mm-mm.
It's like, this is my resource, this is my time. I can't get this back.
Mhm.
It's invaluable energy right now that I can't get back. And so I've learned to kind of tone down how I spend it.
Sure.
Yes. Yes.
Be happy, have faith, stay strong, enjoy the little things. These are awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome.
So those are actually custom affirmational stickers, and I have more of those to come as well in my different kits.
Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Mm-hmm.
what's up. So tell us what else you have coming up. So I know you do a lot of stuff in the community. You have a lot of things coming up.
So believe it or not, Nike Latrice has kind of backed back from a lot of community service.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because you know why? Because I've been doing it well over 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm at the point, a little over 40, where I'm enjoying my children that are graduating or are in college.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a grandma. So doing all the community outreach, and I was always on the go, I wasn't able to enjoy life. And
Understandable.
now I'm kind of retired from the makeup field. A lot of people don't know that. And
Mm-hmm.
I have fallen back on my nursing degree where I'm working in the nursing field now.
Okay.
And I want to talk about that later, how the beauty industry, when it came to where the pandemic just ate it up,
Mm-hmm.
what do you fall back on? Well, I have two more
Right.
other degrees that I was able to fall back on.
Got
Mm-hmm.
him.
So at this point, I'm just enjoying life. I'm enjoying literally every second of life, because you're not promised the next second. So, I dibble and dabble in the makeup a little bit, the skincare, but my whole thing is my platform of speaking to women and young girls growing up to try to be a woman.
Right.
Just helping you with this foundation, this
Mhm.
concealer, this makeup of life, and how to be a woman in this world.
Sounds amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And so if somebody wanted to order this box, how would they go about doing it?
So with the 366 makeup tips of a woman, her affirmational kit, you can go to Nike Latrice. That's NYKE Latrice.com. And of
Mhm.
course, all of my social media platforms as well, Nike Latrice, 366 makeup tips of a woman. You can go there or just inbox me, call your girl Nike, and I got you. I'm so blessed that I've been sending my kits all over the world. And I'm really excited about it because it's touching a lot of women, and I'm seeing the seeds that I have planted. It's harvest time, and I'm
Mhm.
working hard now to to get in those fields and help those seeds that I've planted a long time ago. And it's just amazing. It's amazing. It's
And it's a
amazing.
blessing. And like I said, you've been a blessing to so many. And like I know since I've been back to Nashville to see your toy drives and all the things you've been doing, it's amazing, Nike. And I'm
Thank
so happy
you.
for you, so proud of you. Our girl Brandy posted a status the other day that said class of 98 White Creek High School women. Was it rock or amazing and so or something of
Yeah.
that nature? And she was so right.
Yeah.
Because if you go down our yearbook
Hmm.
and products of White Creek High School. People counted us out many times, and we
Many
kept
times.
doing it. We're doing it,
Yeah.
and so I'm excited about having you be a part of this, and Nike will be coming on weekly, doing her affirmations. We're gonna give her the floor and let her do her thing, and do our part to help her spread her what I call ministry.
Thank
You
you.
know,
I love it. Thank
and,
you.
and we're excited about having her. So we're gonna give you your evening back because I know you're busy and you got grandbabies to get to and everything else. So, but thank you so much for joining us this evening, and we look forward to seeing you again next week.
Thank you guys. Have a beautiful night. Thank
Do
you.
the same. All right.
Thank you, Nike. Thank you. You didn't have to do it, but you most definitely did. I
Yeah.
appreciate you, Nike.
Yeah, it's a beautiful box. I can't wait. I waited to light this candle so that it wouldn't be burnt out when we went live. Yeah. But it smells amazing.
Ooh, my bad.
So yeah, she put some work into this, and these affirmations are great. So now I can actually put it in my office again. I didn't want to show it and see it all tattered up because some of them I already started writing notes on. Because you know how you read, daily devotionals and stuff like that, and it's like, oh, this was right on point. Like this was for me. I like to tag them. So now that I've shown it on the podcast, I can start putting my notes on it. So I'm excited. So thank you again. All right. So what we want to do now? Do we want to do straighten it out? Do we want to do say with the chest for the evening?
So oh, there you go. I'm like, there's my song. Yeah. Okay. What do we do? Okay. So first of all, y'all, let's just give a good shout out to Tennessee State. Trying to get the playing field even up. Of course, y'all know the news. I ain't gonna repeat everything. Everybody know what it is, what it ain't. Making basketball and football look real interesting nowadays. So I had to put my Tennessee State colors and hat on. I left my sweater outside in the car, but I'm representing B. Howard, just in case y'all don't know. Morning coffee, unbelievable. And want to give a good shout out to TMT family. It ain't nothing, and I mean nothing but a touchment Tuesday, and we will be bringing those Tuesdays back sooner than later. All right, well, we got a little.
I thought you want to get into the whole TS. You didn't say what was up. Repeating it.
Well, everybody know,
everybody may not know. So I guess.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Tell some of that good Tennessee State.
I'm not. Again, I'm not reporting this, but his intentions were to say what one time for TSU signing Eddie George as the new head coach for TSU. I guess you got music for that. I don't know. You're gonna play your band music.
Yes.
I'm gonna have to get my gavel out and hit it more times. I see. Jonathan is not.
But like you don't win everywhere. You don't win from let's straighten it out.
I said, what do you want to do now? I said, what do you want to do now? And you said it went into.
You ready to do let's straighten it out?
Let's do straighten it out.
Now, real quick, I want to give a good shout out to Kenny Gates, Jay Perry. Oh, Aisha's in the house.
Hey,
we appreciate
Aisha.
you coming on in, Aisha.
All right. So let me put my theme song on.
Uh-oh.
Because it's time to straighten out. For those who don't know what straighten it out is, it is a time you can come in if you have an issue, allow us to help you work it out. It's time to straighten it out.
Hey.
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 So for those who didn't know, I have bars. And those were my bars. So we got a note in our inbox. And so I'm go ahead and post it. I'm excited. First, thank you for sending it because we know who it is.
Yeah, thank you.
Who it is. But we are excited someone trusted us to let them help them straighten it out. So let me go ahead and post this note here.
We'll let on the weather just in case you
for those who missed it when we first came in, Jonathan isn't feeling well. He said he didn't have allergies, but it doesn't sound like it.
But
the note says,
Sweet Sydney's in the house. Go
hey,
ahead.
Sydney. Thank you guys for the great work helping couples stay together. I need your help straightening it out. A problem with my wife. Straightening out a problem with my wife. I'm sorry, y'all. I was showing my wife a funny clip of a comedian on Instagram. At the same time, an account I was following, we would call it Big Black Booties Are Us, went live. She was immediately upset because she does not have a big butt and thinks that I'm going to cheat on her with someone with a big butt. So every time we go somewhere, I must make sure I look the opposite way when a big fine woman with a big butt and hips walks by. I look the other way. I look the other way. It makes me uncomfortable because I know it makes her feel insecure. Since she found out I'm following the account, she hasn't spoken to me. I love my wife, and there's nothing about her that I would change. Just because I like big butts does not mean I'm going to risk my relationship to get one. What can I do to straighten it out? Fine. I love big butts and I cannot lie.
Oh, hold on now. This man, he's in a relationship.
Mhm.
So this man is in a relationship with a woman who is very insecure about her lower regional section.
Lower regional section.
And unfortunately, when he's out in public, he could be eating his food and the food is good. And he got to turn over this way when somebody with them things come running through. And it's not fair. What are you going to do? Get up and try to holler at her?
Mm-hmm.
So what can he do? So now it's Instagram. Big Booty RS is probably somewhere in California.
Mm-hmm.
We know whoever this is that sent this to us is not California.
Mm-hmm.
So
and we don't know if that's the real. Let's be clear. It's probably not the real Instagram page. I didn't put it in there because I don't want to advertise Big Booties or Us.
Somebody gonna search
Instagram page. Well, you're not gonna find it. I made the name up because I didn't want to put it out there. You guys go get in trouble with your spouses because you want to go follow that nasty page.
Jimmy said unfollow, player.
I agree.
You agree?
So I agree.
Okay.
Here's the thing,
I see
though.
you,
Okay,
Come
so
on,
big butt regions is not an issue in our marriage because I got a big butt, so I ain't worried about it.
Can't lie.
But what I will say,
Uh-oh.
peeping some of the women Jonathan has dated in the past, I don't look like all of them. So here's from a woman's perspective. I kind of have the perception, I could be wrong. Jonathan's preference was, light-skinned, curvy girls with long hair. Embracing my 40s, as you can see, I don't have long hair. I'm not light-skinned, and I don't look like these girls that he had been attracted to in the past. So easily I can understand her insecurities. However, it's one thing that I've learned as a woman is, your self-esteem, your security, how you feel about yourself, no one can give or take that away from you.
Right. Shout out to Aaron. Go ahead.
But as her husband, knowing she has these insecurities, you have to protect that. You know what I mean? And sometimes, and I don't know how many times she's noticed you look at other women. I don't know how many times that, you guys have been out and you're, glancing. Now, men have a tendency, because I've called Jonathan sometimes, it's one thing to kind of just look and keep it moving. It's another thing to kind of be like,
look here, but hold up.
As she's walking by.
Sydney brings a good one. I appreciate you, Sydney. What about eggplant on the low?
Mm-hmm.
That y'all be subscribing to?
Oh, well, we're a little bit more discreet when we check this stuff
He
out.
couldn't help it that the thing went on live. He didn't know.
I'm not saying he's wrong to look. I'm just we're focusing on what made her feel a certain type of way.
Well, what
I'm
you don't
not
like
saying,
it when you looking at eggplant?
Okay, to resolve his issue, because I don't know where you're going with that. To resolve his issue is, whenever, not saying you can't look, but when you do look, be mindful of how long you're looking, how long you're staring. And if the idea that you're following this page, bothers her to the point to where if you get a notification saying you're live, unfollow the page, because you can still see the content without following the page. If it make her feel a certain type of way, just unfollow the page. I think that would be one thing to kind of, resolve that issue. And as far as her not talking to you because she know you're following the page, I would say talk to her, reassure her that you are enough woman for me. No matter what your body looks like, I love it. I married you. I didn't marry big butts or us.
Yeah, and that's what Megan was saying. Megan was saying, part of the problem, his wife has some image issues, but hopefully the husband can feel like she's beautiful exactly the way she is.
Yeah.
Now, Aaron said he gonna put his sunglasses on. I see Olivia. Come on.
Okay.
Now, Sydney said by unpopular belief, self-esteem is personal.
It is. I agree with that.
And obviously he loves her because he married.
He married her, yeah, and that's my
I
point.
see you, Ron.
He married her. That's what she was enough. Whatever she had, he loved and he liked because he married her.
Oh yeah.
I had a friend. We were out. It was a long time ago. I had a friend talking about a topic of self-esteem and somebody making them feel a certain type of way, and she said a quote that I think I've repeated over and over again, and that is, self-esteem is the esteem of your motherfucking self.
Oh.
Can't nobody manage that for you. Can't nobody babysit that for you. Your self-esteem is self-esteem. Only thing we can do as partners is help you support you through resolving whatever issues you have, but we can't do it for you. And I wouldn't put that pressure on him, on this guy. The only thing he can do as the husband is reassure her that she's enough.
Unfollow. Hey, bro, if you listening, unfollow. Reassure her that
she's enough.
I'm under the weather. Sick and shut in. You can put me under the sick and shut in.
Yeah. So yeah, that's how we hope we can help you take our advice and you're able to straighten it out. Mr. Big, I like big butts and I cannot lie.
Hey, that is a crazy one. Oh, what little weird stories we gonna be getting like that in the future?
We shall see.
Unfollow and reassure. That's it.
So get to our topic, which was life after 40. Again, just to bring it back, we were discussing some of the challenges and blessings of turning 40.
Facts, Megan. Go ahead.
The blessings and the challenges of turning 40. With that, I found a nice article that kind of gave the 15 things you should be doing at 40. I want to just read off the list and then we can just have a discussion, after that. Again, if you want to join our stream and come on and be seen or be heard,
say with your chest.
You are more than welcome to do so. I have the phone number going across the bottom. So tip number 1 of entering your 40s. 40 life changes you should make after 40. And if you aren't 40 yet, you should be making strides to kind of get to this point. And the one thing that resonated with me was stop pretending to enjoy things you actually hate.
Stop.
And I'm thankful because that's something I kind of started to manifest in my 30s. And one thing for me was like designer items. Like there are some things that I like that are designer, but I was only buying and getting because other people were doing it. And it was kind of like I was buying brands and labels that I was not into. But I wanted to make sure people knew and understood I could get it if I wanted to. But I really didn't want it. So that was money, resources wasted on something that I didn't even want. And it was one bag I bought, like my first Michael Kors bag. Like I spent 15 years ago, like $300-$400 on this bag. And I use it now as a tote when I travel, as a carry-on. Like I don't value it at all. The only reason I didn't throw it away is because it's a good leather bag. So it is durable. But it was too big to even carry. So that's one thing. We can come back to that. But tip number 1.
Well, let's see if anybody says anything that they.
Yeah, I'm gonna read the list and we can come back to it though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought we'd do a little bit at a time.
Stop pretending to enjoy things you actually hate. Number
moving.
2.
Go ahead.
And don't be shy about things you are not into or you are into. So if there are certain things you're into, nobody else is into, be into it. Everyone doesn't have to come along and be along with what you got going on. And vice versa. Just because everybody else is doing the one thing and you're not into it, you don't have to pretend that you are. We can, you could be posting this in the chat if you really care that much. Learn a new language.
Get me busy work like I'm
looking over my shoulder, make sure I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I got this.
I'm trying to give an example. Go ahead.
Okay. Learn a new language. And I'm just going to read the list and then we just come back to it. Become a world traveler. I kind of got opinions on that, but become a world traveler is on the list. And for those of you who are just now joining us, this is life changes you should be making after 40.
Cosmopolitan. Go ahead.
Use all your vacation days.
Dang,
I learned that in my 30s too.
I didn't use it.
Use your vacation days. Reinvigorate your relationship with some flirting. That's a good one because when you've been together a long time, some people tend to stop flirting and that causes other issues.
And sometimes you just gotta run up on her like I do and be like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Can I get them salmon? You know how I be doing it? Hey, let me get them salmon.
And he still don't know. We've been together 9 years and he don't know my number. Wake up earlier. Number 7, wake up earlier. You're so stupid. Find a hobby. I'm embracing that one. We can come back to it. Number 9, read regularly. I think I saw another tip on another blog that said you should be reading 9 pages a day as an adult.
Well, they got a whole number for it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you want to hide it, put it in the book. That's what they say.
Manage your finances, and that's big. Especially when you get to 40, because you're not too far away from retirement age if you just want to be real
And
about
that's
it.
for sure right on.
Yeah. Reinvent your finances, you know.
Reinvent.
Yeah, so
reinvest.
Reinvent. So get a financial planner and start making your money work for you. I think is what they mean by that.
I hope so. Cosmopolitan. Ain't that the book y'all be reading? Girls read and be telling you 100 things your man likes.
Well, that's not what I'm getting this from.
Okay, great.
Okay. Yeah.
Gavel.
Be more assertive at work. And I think that's big for women, you know, more so than men. I think, you know, we can come back to that. But number 12, be more assertive at work. So embrace your inner boss. Stay out of office drama, and I want to put a hyphen behind that or a slash, and you know, stay out of drama. Period. Life drama. 14, don't stay at a job that you hate. And 15, find a fitness routine you love. Now, I know you were anxious to get back to some of those things. So, did anyone post anything regarding some of those topics?
Well, scroll down. So, did anybody? Okay, keep going. See, stop pretending. All right, stop pretending to enjoy things you actually hate. Hey, how about this though? What about relationship though? I be thinking that sometimes men and women, they pretend to like something just to have the relationship, but then you really didn't like it. So let me give you an example. Hey, John, first date 2012. Hey, John, you want to go to the movies? Do you like movies? Yeah, I like movies. Oh, my lady likes movies. We can always see movies together. 2021, she can't stand to see a movie in the movie theater. Huh? Looks like you stopped liking things that you used to like. Excuse me, I'm under the weather. So me trying to be sarcastic don't sound as good as it used to.
And it makes absolutely no sense. I never said, oh yeah, I love going to movies.
Jahan, stop it.
No.
We used to go to the movies all the time.
I went because you like going, not because I like going.
What I'm talking about. You faked it until you made it.
I wasn't faking it. I was being tolerable.
I need a refund.
Bruh. Whatever you want to do.
This is brought to you by Coach. Just when you think she's an approach, get your toothbrush as a coach, and she... I can't think of it.
Oh my God. And I think that was my topic. Stop pretending to do things you don't like to do. You know, you don't, if you want to go to the movies, you go to the movies. If I don't want to go, then I'm not going to go. That's on the list. I get to do that.
Finances are an excellent point.
Yeah.
What Olivia said.
Yeah.
But that's like the root of, that's some of the, most relationships flame out because of finance.
Yeah, finances. And if you know, we really aren't taught how to manage them until it's too late. Like growing up in school, like we had economics like for a 6-week period. Yeah. So we learned what stocks were, but we didn't learn how to manage stocks. We learned how to, you're supposed to balance a checkbook. We would do a little activity, but that we didn't go over the importance of doing so. Like we didn't learn how to spend money. Like for me, I started my career at Pizza Hut at 16, and then when I finished college, I was promoted to the corporate office, right? So at 22, 23 or something like that, I'm in corporate America making a little bit more money than most of my friends, and didn't know how to manage it at all. Like, in my mind, I had enough money to pay my rent, pay my car note. Everything after that was at the club, literally, like Beamers, happy hour, like my homegirl having a birthday, we gonna get this, and this and that, because I just thought as long as I could pay my bills, I'm good. And so after being in Dallas a few years, the recession hits, and I had nothing to show for it, like nothing to show for the money that I had made. I ended up being off work almost 2 years after the recession, and moving back home and all that fun stuff. And that is when I learned how to better manage my money. But I had to start all over to do it. And that's like I said, when my 30s approached, I learned that key element of I need to be spending money on stuff that I want because I want it, not because I want somebody to know I can afford it. And that's why even now I think it's crazy. Like, even when people talk about money, how much they make and all this other good stuff, I just think that's so personal. Like, why are we discussing this? That should be, your finances should be intimate. It should be between you and your spouse, and that's it. So whatever you guys plan to do, you do it accordingly.
I want to give a good shout out to sweet uncle and auntie Don and Emily Brown is in the house.
How you guys doing, Aunt Emily and Uncle Don? I know you didn't. You up here snorting and stuff on the mic. You gonna do that?
I'm sorry, I'm a little bit under the weather. I'm just sick and shutty in for the evening. So hey, let me bring up some good points. Aaron said now he have learned in his 40s that the things he did in his 20s and 30s, he don't even enjoy it anymore.
True.
That's like, just outgrowing the little kiddish stuff. And hey, Sydney said we definitely need more financial literacy.
Yeah.
Passed down to the next generation. Now, Jimmy saying is good relationships can require healthy compromises. Compromises. Hey, the tears in the eyes.
Yeah, so yeah.
Okay.
Can't wait for that PWI HBCU experience episode.
No, you didn't. Well, Megan said fitness and health, and that is definitely, that health thing ain't no joke, y'all.
Yeah.
Because you don't want your spouse, let's just keep it real. Like, you don't want your spouse at 40 years old taking care of you like you 80. And I be praying that the Lord help me keep my health where I can function and do things on my own. I know when we got married, we said until death do us part. But you don't want to be confined if you can help it. If you can help it. And if you can help, if you're getting around now, most likely one would say you can help it.
You can help it, yeah.
Preventative maintenance
is very important.
Now, Don said that's right, because financial literacy is so important, and we have to learn how to make our money work for us.
That's on the list. Yep. That's reinventing your money.
Reinventing the money.
Yeah.
Kenya said that, hey, we didn't have a lot of education with finances. And then on campus, you had credit applications everywhere. That's right. They showed they tried to take advantage of us in college. I do remember.
We traded our financial foundation for T-shirts and mugs.
Oh yeah, I see you, Katina. Come on in.
Yeah. So yeah, that's very important. And I think they stopped doing that after a while too, allowing these companies to come on campus and pretty much, have kids sign their life away.
Yeah, that's what you're doing.
Because I don't think you're 18 and you're an adult, but you go from being.
No, go ahead.
So you go from.
I want to get it out, but I don't want to cut off because she said I always cut off.
You do.
You got to get it in now. Hey, this is full blown, live and direct. I'm going 60 over here. You still doing 20 like you going over speed bumps.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to be thorough and make sure I get my points out. But
see, I said PWI.
Go ahead.
I said PWI.
Put your statement out there. What's your statement? What you gonna say?
Well, what I wanted to say, I forgot. I'm sorry. Oh, yeah. Back then, they used to give us like $1,000 credit lines. You remember that?
Yeah.
Now you better get 100, 200. They will give you $1,500 credit line. What you need that for?
With no job.
Yeah, no job.
Work study, if that. I was an athlete my first 2 years in school. That's the only work I did. I was come home and work on the weekends and during the holidays and stuff like that. But why do I have this credit card? Like, why did it even get approved? And my mama only knew because the bill went to my home.
Aaron said he had 3 cards down there at Tennessee State.
Yeah.
Back in 96, 97, 98.
Yeah, with only a t-shirt to show for it. Jacked up credit after college, and then a t-shirt if you sell the t-shirt.
People putting down they refunds or they work study.
They would tell us to
$200 a month work. Yeah, they would. They tell you how to fill it out so you can get more money.
Yeah. Now I want to go back to the health part because we're kind of talking about that too, and the importance of managing your mental health and your self-care too.
Yeah.
Because we tend to let that go, especially women. We put everything before ourselves to the point we don't have anything left for us. And that's why I think mental health and self-care are very important. And what I have found to help my mental health is the point that they had about staying out of office drama. And mine wasn't so much office drama because I'm in HR. No one comes to me unless it's a problem. I'm trying to fix it. But I'm not in the office gossip and all that good stuff. But life drama. And that's one thing I have embraced in my 40s. And a little bit before that was let them folk be grown folk. Quit minding everybody else's business. Mind your business and nobody else's. My mama would always say you can only control yourself. You can't control other people. So whatever other people want to do, however they want to live, as long as it's not affecting your life and your peace, let them be.
Devil's advocate. But let me hit you with this one.
Mm-hmm.
What if it's family? Something bad has happened to family.
What you mean?
Bad relationship, getting cheated on. Or they're not doing right. Like, it's hard to say you want to stay out of it and you see somebody crying for help, even though sometimes they don't want to help themselves.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just a natural feeling to want to help somebody you love.
Well, want to help and being in people's business is 2 different things to me. If someone says to me, hey, Jahan, help me, or what do you think about this? That's one thing, but I stop inserting myself in other people's business. Like, yeah, I see a friend hanging off the edge in a relationship. She's with a guy that I don't necessarily agree with or whatever. It's not my business to say I don't like him, break up with him.
You know what? Let me say that. Chuck said mental health is key, right? Mm-hmm. You know how they always say that men have it hard, right? Which we do. I'm not saying we don't. Mm-hmm. Have it hard. The man come home. He needs to be able to come home to a wife who's understanding that he's out here dealing with the cares of the world.
Yeah.
But I will admit, we don't never say that about our women.
We don't. Mm-mm.
Now, you had brought up a point that I think sounded pretty good, that at work, not only are you fighting racism, but you're also fighting other women too, right?
No, sometimes at the point that sexism,
racism, and your own women.
Sometimes as Black women, we have to put being a woman ahead of being Black in the office space. I think this came from when we were discussing like politics and like when Hillary Clinton ran for president.
I see it, Dominique. Go ahead.
A lot of the times, I think people who didn't vote for Hillary didn't vote for her because she was a woman. They'd rather have Donald Trump, who they knew wasn't qualified. He wasn't a good fit to be president, but they'd rather have a man in office because they didn't trust having a woman in office. Because of her, they thought she wouldn't have a temperament, and then look what we got. That happens every day in the workplace. Like even with, the point that they had on the list about women being more assertive at work. When we are assertive, when we are smart, when we are driven, when we are bosses, we're labeled as bitches. We're labeled as difficult, emotional, defensive.
But angry Black woman.
And women, period, not just Black women, but yeah, Black women.
Oh, the angry woman.
She's so defensive. She's emotional. Blah blah blah.
Making decisions off emotions and not.
Yeah. Then look what we got in office. But then we're also the ones getting the job done at work. Like we're okay.
I see you, Madison.
We're okay with being put in charge and leading projects, but we're not okay with being promoted to VP levels. Like they like keeping us in the position to where we get the job done, but don't promote us. They promote somebody who we had to hold their hand through a project over you. And that's when I say sometimes you have to put being a woman over being a black woman. And then when we do help get women ahead, we struggle with then that woman who we help push up reaching back. And that's what I was saying. Then that's when we have a problem because now we're competing against each other. And because sometimes there's not enough spots for all of us, but it should be.
Right.
Everyone should be judged by, by their work ethic and their character versus whether or not you think I'm gonna be emotional because it's the time of the month. And that's what I meant when I made that statement.
Now Madison said nothing goes before your black.
That's easy for a man to say. That's easy for a man to say because especially when you're sitting in the board meeting and you're seeing or watching your black man belittle you and all the other women in the room, because then you have to take a stand. Because again, even when I was saying that when you pull a woman up, you look for her to reach back. Well, sometimes as black women in the workplace supporting our men, someone's calling, supporting our men. The men forget to reach back too, and then they start treating us like the white men treat us, sometimes worse, because they feel like they can. And that's not saying that I agree. That's what I mean by sometimes putting being a woman over being black, because when you don't have the support from a black man, especially in the workplace, you gotta sometimes put yourself in position to elevate.
Okay, let me hang up, and I gotta make my Bluetooth. Hang up, and then call me one more again. Give me about 1 minute. Oh, we got a call. Okay. Let me get my Bluetooth right.
So yeah. So Jonathan reads the comments. Let me get to the comments. Make sure I'm catching everything. So I get what Madison is saying. Typically no. It's black before everything. But when you're having to struggle with men not having that same mentality, then where does that leave the black woman? You don't have that.
Okay, here we go.
So then so that's what when we talking about staying out of office drama and all that good stuff and protecting your mental health. That's why you don't bring your work home. That also protects your mental health as well. And that's something that's hard for me to do at times because when you are, it's a lot going on. I'm just thrown off right now.
I'll say, okay, I'm sorry, I'm getting the call in. Okay. All right, go ahead, Kenya. We got you in.
No, I was just calling because it was quicker for me to call than it was to try to type it.
Oh, yeah.
But being in our 40s is different. I just turned 40 last year.
Okay.
And mental health being a very important thing. I had my first son when I was 22. And I ended up being diagnosed with postpartum after I had him. And the biggest issue I had was
like the white man treat. Sometimes worse.
My parents' generation, our parents' generation, where they really didn't believe in seeking help for mental health. With the black church, it's told you got to pray everything away.
Yep.
So, yeah. I think now it's become more normal. Well, our generation is making it more normal to know it's okay to seek help for mental health. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of us weren't told that there wasn't a common thing, Because when I was diagnosed with postpartum, I was just told, wow, this is something that crazy white women claim when they kill their children. Yeah. Not trying to be funny, but there was at the time what they would tell people and everything. Right. Yeah. So you really didn't know. Mm-hmm. So, what you're saying about men, that's very important because we especially not saying black men don't go through what black women do, but we do get to the point where we can give ourselves so much to other people that you look around and you don't have anything left for you.
Right.
And that's a dangerous place to be.
It is. And I'm going to go ahead and thank you, Kenya, because I agree with what you're saying. And when we're not taught to manage, our mental health, That's when we are popping off. We're negative. We aren't the best version of ourselves.
Right.
And when you can't be the best version of yourself, then it's kind of hard to be anything for anybody else. And if you are, it's an insignificant part. I wanted to answer. I'll go ahead. I'm sorry.
I said, no. I mean, that's true. And it's nothing against the church. I love the Lord and everything and everything else. But, that's one of the things that we were taught. Well, you just pray about it. You got to give it to the Lord. You just pray about it. Like you're kind of discouraged to express yourself to people. You kind of just kind of put your head down and keep on pushing. Well, that didn't work for the generations before us. So how can it still work for us?
Yeah. And this is a different world than what our, prior generations kind of had to deal with too. I mean, some of the same things and, and not to negate the struggles of the past, but they knew their devils. We're still trying to figure out who our devils are. And that's why I want to kind of go back to what Madison was saying about, so would you put a white woman before help of a black man? And I don't know if he heard the whole thing prior to me saying that. And I was like, never, ever, just off GP would I do that. But what I think sometimes men forget is that we're constantly helping the black man in the workplace. And I can remember in school, I joked with one of the guys I graduated with, like, put my name on your degree because you used most of my papers to graduate. Like, we got your back. Going to a PWI, we got your back. And there are many times, like, we're always, again, holding up our black men. The struggle, the challenge that we deal with is when we don't get that same support from our black men. Like, it's not okay to take all that I have. I'm sitting up with you. I'm working with you. I'm helping you accomplish your project. Now here comes time for you to defend me and support me. And you sit in the corner with Ted now. Because now you done got your promotion. And they whispering, talking about, oh, Jahan, she's so bossy. She's so this, blah, 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 blah. And you like, yeah, she sure is. That's when I have a problem. And so now that I've helped my black brother, he's in the car, he's in the corner with Brad and Ted and them. And I'm in a meeting now, it's me and Karen. And listen to all these men degrade us and make us feel little. And we're sitting here in most cases with more education than the men in the room, more experience
and more responsibility,
and they have the titles, they have the salaries. Then what do you do with that? So when did black men stop supporting black women? Oh my God. Okay, let's not take you out of the picture, Madison. That's the name he uses on Facebook. We're not talking about you, Madison, Washington. We're talking about the black men who we every day sit in boardrooms with. I work in politics. I work for the government. So these are men who I actually sit in a room with, and I have to either throw them under the bus, or keep myself quiet to not embarrass my black man. But the black men in these rooms have no problem calling out women. So it's markets. We're talking about all settings, because I've worked in manufacturing, I've worked in corporate office, I worked, period. And not even work, MPAC meetings, listening to how men talk to women sometimes.
Well, the thing is, I've worked in government for over 15 years consistently. And I have seen firsthand, and I don't know if you're referring to, because I turned my phone off so there wouldn't be any back or anything. But there are exceptions to the rule, but it's also what you say. I have seen men get promoted just because they were a man, not because they were the better worker or most qualified, but because they were a man. When you brought up the dude that people looked out for in college, yeah, you did that, but you never did the same in return to the sister that was helping you.
Right.
I mean, and don't get me wrong, there's exceptions, but I know some of you are like, well, I didn't do so-and-so, well, then we're not talking about you.
Right.
You're the exception.
Right.
But the majority that we've seen, you want us to look out for you, but you don't give that same help back to the next person as you should. That's very true.
I agree. And I think that's a lot of, again, women sometimes not being heard. I think sometimes men will hear one snippet of something and then take it to the left. Like you're not hearing what's being said. And it may not be something you do, but there are in the majority of men out there who do. The majority of black men only fight the power when it benefits them. And that's just the truth. And this is what we
And then
live
the
as
first
women
time you
every
speak
day.
up for yourself, you deemed as being difficult. You a bitch.
You
You
a bitch.
uncooperative. Don't nobody want to work with you.
She doesn't want to be a
And
team
everything,
player.
yeah.
Because the definition of being a team player is just do the work and shut up.
Well, I will say that just as much as it's hard for a man, African American man, to be accepted or get paid correctly for what they're doing, because they put you in these positions and then they underpay. You find out the person who before you was getting paid more, or someone beside you getting paid more, which is so unfair. And I know women get that as well. So I'm not going to sit here and act like women don't get treated unfairly. And two, I guess what you're saying is that a lot of guys that you've been around, and we've seen some guys, we may not personally do that. Yeah, I've seen some guys that I worked with, throw women on the bus or have this real. But what was we looking at, or did I? Oh, well, never mind. I don't want to say, because we was just talking about that. Because we was talking to somebody who was kind of seeming sexist. We're not, I don't say the name. Do you kind of remember that? We was talking to somebody.
Well, I know we had a conversation about that Kevin Samuels guy.
That's
with
topic.
Yeah. And I'll be honest, I can't say I disagree with everything he says, but it was just one particular scenario. He kind of went in on this woman because she said she was looking for a high value guy. And she was making, 6 figures, had her own business, and she kind of complained, or her struggle, her challenge was that she had a hard time dating the ordinary guy or everyday guy because when they found out that she had her own business and she was making her own money and how she lived, they were more concerned about how they could benefit from her. And so she figured, if I can find a guy making what I make and have his own business, the focus would be more on us growing a relationship versus him trying to figure out how to take advantage of me. And all Kevin Samuels could seem to focus on in that instance was, well, how would you rank yourself? How do you, what do you look like? Do you think you could attract a man, a high value man? And it was based solely on how she looked. And that's what women, we deal with that. And I think when men can stop and actually look at some of the things that we really deal with, because we get what men deal with. We get that if Jonathan, your tags got to get renewed because I don't want you to get on for no reason. A traffic incident ends up being your death. Now you're a hashtag. Like, I get that, and I support that. When you're not feeling well, I got you. But women who don't have a husband at home or, don't have that support, there are women out there dealing with that type of stuff. And I just think it should be recognized. And I don't think it always is. Okay, so Kevin Samuels defines a high value man as someone who makes over $100,000 a year. I think he said $150,000 a year.
Yeah, that's in the top 10%
is single,
African-American.
doesn't have any kids, and that makes him high value.
If I was 20, I could see what he's saying, this so-called trophy wife, but I still don't like his definition of trophy, because he's like, Beyonce's an 8, Kelly Rowland's a 9, Rihanna's a 10.
That's perspective.
What you like.
Yeah.
I don't like them little skinny girls.
Yeah.
I'm looking for some super thick. What are you talking about? Yeah. So it's like, even in my young age,
that's his personal opinion, though, because to me, I'm like, why is Beyonce above Kelly? Right. Like, how did you rank that?
But then, at 40, if I had that kind of money, I need somebody, forget looking like a trophy wife. Why I want a trophy wife with a bird brain.
True.
You know what I'm saying? If I'm 40 years old and I'm around people as like-minded, I need a woman that can hold a conversation. So I need both. I need a good-looking woman.
A partner.
And a partner. Yeah. You're right.
But but one thing I will say about being 40 is that I would think we would get to the point where we pass basing relationships off
You
of who
want to.
fine.
Yeah.
True.
And some, I'm about to
we
answer
should
your
have
question,
more
Madison.
depth to us in that.
Yeah. I'm about to answer your question because, and this is a lesson that I learned in my early 20s and I stuck with it because I'm going to be honest, the guy that I would date, to date, I'm married, happily married, let's get that clear. But, you know, while I was single, I had a perspective or a persona what I thought my ideal man was. And I had a coworker. I was working at FedEx, and she was, 50, but she was a sassy 50. She was still out there. She kept her hair done. She looked good. She was what we call a glam mom today. And I was having some issues with a guy I was dating, and and my thing was he was college educated. He was what I thought physically was, attractive, but treated me like dirt. And she said, Mark is stupid. And so she told me then, she's like, when I was your age, those are the things that were important to me. But what I learned at 50 is you love who loves you. You respect, and when you find that somebody who treats you right, somebody who protects you, somebody who professes their love to you, someone who claims you, loves you how you need to be deserved, that is to me what I call high value. That's a high value man to me. It's not about how much money you make, because at the end of the day, I make my own money. It's just being real. Every car that I in my name, I bought myself. Now my husband did buy me a truck, but my car that I bought is in my name. I did that. I got married at 35. The money that I made that, and I had some hardships and I had to learn a lot of lessons, but anything I've ever wanted, I got myself. So I don't need a man for that. And there are a lot of men in the world who don't need a man for that. But at my age, at 40, and most people who I'm friends with, the material stuff I can do myself. But are you going to be my provider, my not my provider, but my confidant, my friend? I think it's more important to be friends with someone than anything else, because if you got someone who you're truly friends with, you can work through everything else. Somebody who you truly respect, and respects you, you can work through everything else. So my idea of a high value man is somebody who respects me, who values me, who is my friend, and who loves me. That's high value.
I think Kevin talks to those ladies like that because they are leading their question or their expectations based upon money. Mm-hmm. And in their mind, if you're not making $100,000, then you're not a high value type of man, which is just crazily insane. Because it's not what you get. What you have is what you do with what you have. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there are a lot of families out here who are making less than $100,000 combined and live better than people making $100,000 individually. Because it's not about how much money you make; it's about how you manage it at the end of the day. So that doesn't mean anything. If people out here working at, making $15 an hour, go to Aruba every year, go to Montego Bay every year, that don't mean nothing. Because if you could be making it and not managing it right.
And then he will say, hey, if he has all this money or he's doing well with himself, he don't want a woman in an already made family. Right. But what if he can't have a family?
Right.
What if his loins do not possess the strength to impregnate? Already made family may not be bad.
May not be. You may have to adopt or whatever.
Different strokes for different folks.
Same for women. I think that's what he was saying too. High value men don't want women with children, and there's a lot of women out here because they want to be able to have their own children. Yeah, and he's asking you, what do you consider yourself? What do you consider a woman, or high value woman? Because I don't think Kevin.
The thing is
okay, I got you, man. Okay.
I forgot you're still on the phone.
girl, yeah. I was getting ready because I had to pick up. I was getting ready to hang up. I had to pick up on that part. I'm a single mother of 2 children, and I don't consider myself to be a bad catch either. But if I encounter someone who's not interested in someone having children, that's fine, because my children are going to come first before anything at the end of the day. Yeah. The thing that kills me, and this goes for men and women, because I've had this conversation with girlfriends. How is it fair for you to have children, but you want to get with someone who doesn't have it? And that's male and female that do that. I've had girlfriends that have kids, like, well, I don't want a man with no kids. What you have, girl.
You got kids, right?
So, yeah. So how is it fair to put those And dating now is different. It is. It's different. So no, But yeah, I mean, it's crazy because we all know people who are in relationships with money who are some of the most miserable people that we know.
Miserable.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So money, I mean, don't get me wrong, at this age, we want to be financially sound, but we also should be at the age to know that money isn't everything either when it comes to people.
No, broke don't look good whether you in love or happy or whatever. Broke don't look good on nobody. But, you know, that's why you got to make sure that you get with a partner who's able to work through that type of stuff with you. But did you want to answer his question about what you consider? Okay.
Yeah, so Madison was asking, you know, what's my interpretation of a high value woman? Okay, let me tell you something.
Thank you, Soror.
You know, here's 1 Corinthians chapter 13. You know, love is kind, love is patient, love does not boast, love does not keep records of wrong. When you have a person who doesn't keep records of wrong, who doesn't boast, a woman who's willing to work, also willing to sacrifice, and not only just to sacrifice, let's say there's something she really wanted to do and couldn't do it, you know, even though I was able to do it last week, but it just so happened this week she couldn't do it, but can understand that and know that we're going to make sure she can do it on the next time around. You know, that just little things like that is what make her high value. Understanding that I just want to watch the game by myself. Understanding that I'm sick. Don't run out on me. Everybody can't handle sickness. You know, you got to be able to be mentally prepared for that, to see somebody who you used to walk around and doing stuff with, and now they might have a sickness that's kind of holding them back on certain things. You know, if I have high value woman is a woman who is willing to work, whether she's working at home as a stay-at-home mother or she's working a 9 to 5. She can understand. She's willing to sacrifice. You don't have to worry about her messing off, cheating, and then a high value woman is gonna make you the way you don't want to cheat. Hey, what do I need? Hey, I already got a Lexus. I already got a Bentley. What am I gonna drive a Lexus for? I got the Bentley. She got it all. My high value woman has it all. See, when anybody, I'm gonna say man too, when somebody come into the table with that yayo, and they hitting it with the table full steam ahead, the other person, if they have any kind of sense, it's not gonna even wanna mess around and do anything. You know what I'm saying? It's just, you know, that's just a high value woman to me.
So someone who's understanding, who is
willing to sacrifice,
willing to make sacrifices, and willing to work.
And can understand. Yeah. Doesn't like to argue, hold grudges, can complete sentences. Huh? Y'all think it ain't crazy? You know, I don't know if y'all remember back in the day, man, the old school used to be like, make sure y'all equally yoked. You know what I'm saying? I quiz Jahan all the time. You know what I'm saying? Sit your $5 self down. What movie is that? I'll put you on the spot.
You sure did. Sit your phone before I make change. New Jack City?
That was a close one, y'all. But you know what I'm saying? This be little stuff like that, or a nice song come on, grown and sexy song come on. I'll be like, who is that, John? And she know who it is. That be the type of stuff that I say is what makes her value so high. You know, so that's my interpretation.
Would that be the case though? Hey, say you and I weren't together, and you were still dating. With that, is that what you're saying you'd be looking for? Someone who could.
Want me to say that again?
Say it's like if you were single, say you just say that's what Jahan is, but
right.
Is that what you'd be looking for? Like, say you and I had never met, and we weren't married.
Man, you know what? Be honest, no, because I wouldn't know that was available. I wouldn't know it's available to have somebody with so many great traits. I'm telling y'all, read 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 1 through 8 or 10. I think it's 8 or 10. If you can find somebody who's that for the most part, you are winning. Because I'm going to tell you, I've been there where somebody was none of that. So if you're reading 1 Corinthians chapter 13 and your spouse doesn't give you any of those feelings, it's easier said than done, but it's about time to ride the thing on out. It's time to shut it down. It's time to let it go.
Right. And that's just what it is. And I was gonna go to some of the comments that were made as far as preference and stamina to be with someone through traumatic situations or change. That's true. Now preference, I think, as long as that's made known up front,
Tuck said quiz.
you got that right. You can have a preference, and I don't think there's anything wrong with preference. Because you don't want to be with anyone you're not attracted to, or anyone that is not going to be a fit. My problem, or what I would say about that, is don't waste anyone's time. And I think once you start approaching 40 or getting over 40, you kind of stop playing games and only focus on what it is that you want in a mate. And you got to figure that out. So sometimes to your point, you didn't know that was available. So you didn't know that was an option to have a preference, and I think even for me, what made me know I was going to marry Jonathan, or Jonathan was the one for me, he was the first person I had dated and been with that I could totally be myself. Because, I dated other men and you were trying to be what they thought you were, you work in corporate America, you should have a certain personality, or you should dress a certain type of way, talk a certain type of way. Like, I didn't feel like I could ever really be myself with anyone until I got with Jonathan. Like, even going out with friends, and if he was in the club, I wouldn't want to dance because I didn't want him to think that, oh, I'm not being a lady because I'm dancing. I knew I loved Jonathan because I was able to let my hair down and be completely myself. Good, bad, ugly, indifferent. I danced in front of him. I cannot sing a lick, and I sing in front of him. Like, I can totally be myself in front of him, and that's when I knew this was who I was going to marry. And that's why I get mad at him, because when you're not eating right and drinking right, you're not gonna leave me in this world by myself and have to go through this again. I'm not doing it.
As men, we don't go and I see you, Tori. We don't get our checkups normally like we should, and the man, we try to stay away. Well, we don't try. It's just like we just working and trying to provide, and just kind of miss the whole health thing. And let me tell y'all, sometimes this stuff is live. And what I was just about to say, I lost it. Okay, it is what it is. Jesus. I just lost it. Because I heard the bag the thing up, and I was fixing to say something about that.
Well, yeah, I said should have played Can You Stand the Rain for all the couples. Because because when you bring that up, Jonathan got sick right a month before our wedding. And when everybody was saying, Jahan, are you sure? Are you sure? And I'm like, what are you talking about? If I say yes to better for worse, because when you decide to marry somebody, you've already said, I got you through no matter what. And so now that here comes the what I'm supposed to bail, that just didn't make any sense to me. And it was coming from loving places. It was coming from people who were just, being concerned, like, hey, this is a lot. You don't know what's going to happen.
Don't feel obligated.
Don't feel obligated. And, talking to my dad, he was like, are you sure? And I was like, well, yeah. Because what if this happened 3 months after my wedding? Do I leave then? No, if I wouldn't leave then, I'm not going to leave now. We're going to work through it. We'll figure it out.
You have a spouse that's there with you when that time of sickness, especially when it's unexpected, for real, though, there for you. Mm-hmm. I mean, and I tell this story all the time. I'm not going to get all the way into it. But kidney failure is a life-changing event. Hey, lost my job. ASAP. I wasn't DJing, doing nothing. I was just sitting around the house. And she went to work. Didn't say nothing. Jonathan, you been in this house all day, been playing on that Xbox, and you mean to tell me these dishes ain't been there? She came home from work and cooked dinner. Went to work, cooked dinner, ain't said nothing, didn't complain. Now, what's my man, Mint Condition? Now, Mint Condition said it. What kind of man would I be sitting around here making my wife go out here, go to work like this, and then come home to work? Mm-hmm. So that's when I decided to get back into work for. I said, I got to do something like this. And, I can talk about the favor, but I'm going to leave that for another.
Yeah. God is good. I tell you, we've had some challenging moments, and, we've learned how to work through certain things. But, when you decide, when you're with the right person, you can get through those things. God said, no weapons form up against me shall prosper. But he said the weapons wouldn't form. So
We
see, I learned how to just get through it. Yeah. So that's so does you have an excellent wife? Yeah, he does. I think he forgets that sometimes, but he does.
Yeah, appreciate you coming back in, Madison. Now I can see what's going on and see who all's in here.
Yeah.
Hey, we really appreciate y'all's support. I'm just sick and shut in. We really appreciate y'all's support. We trying to get this thing lifted off. Hey, and Rome wasn't built in a day. We are just so happy, that y'all are in here and being interactive, because that's what we wanted to do. Make it real interactive. And like I said, we want your opinions and give us some topics, some questions and feedback. And if y'all got some questions you want me to ask out loud and just to see what somebody's reaction is, we don't have to put your name with it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because I like big butts and I cannot lie. Hey, he hit us with a let's straighten it out.
Mm-hmm.
That's
which touches on some of the things that we talked about, just being upfront and being comfortable with somebody. When you're truly comfortable with someone, you be honest. You can be honest with them. And so honestly, for me, like I said, I know they'll pay stuff on Jonathan's Instagram that he followed, whether it was intentional or not, because he made his Instagram page our podcast page. I have access to it now, and when I opened it, it was stuff in there. I don't think he's checked his Instagram messages in 2 years or whatever,
right.
And so I see the things that when things that pop up, as a woman, no, you don't want your husband following or seeing those things, but at the same time, you can't control another person. You can only control yourself.
Thank you, sweet auntie, Auntie Beverly. Hey, Tuck said, when can we get him on the show? I bet Tuck won't call me.
You can get on the show right now.
I bet Tuck won't call me.
No, we got a question because we
Tuck.
wanted to bring my siblings and your sister on our show, the final show, I think it was.
Yeah, we're gonna bring one, but I bet he won't call right now. He know what it is, what it ain't. Let me think of a quick question I could ask him.
Well, we did have some more questions as we got kind of, on these other things, because we like relationship with your family and friends and all that stuff. We didn't touch on it yet.
Aaron said he enjoyed it. Took for the eyes.
I think he had already put them up. I wasn't sure what it was for. Or someone's in the private chat. Oh, good.
Yeah.
Thank you. So so relationships after 40, because that's even when you're talking about like girlfriends and stuff like that, that's one thing that I think has kind of changed because life.
You got a show with your girlfriend.
I do have a show with my girlfriends, but what we're talking about is relationships.
Oh. We got Young Tuck in the house. Oh, wait a minute. My bad. Hold on. Let me put you on the. Oh, hold on. We got Young Tuck in the house.
What's up? Am I live?
Yep, you live, baby.
Hey, what's going on there, man? Man, don't ever put me on the spot like I ain't gonna pull up on you. You know I'm gonna pull up.
Hey, let's give a good shout out to Officer P in the house. We got Roadside in the house. He said, don't ever ask him to pull up because he's coming. Hey, I got a quick question.
Roadside, this is Road Kappa.
Oh,
what's
my
up?
bad.
Bro, yeah.
So let me let you do that, John.
Yeah.
Let me let you do that. We got Omega Sci Fi. I can get that right. I can get that right. Goodness.
Yeah. That's why I didn't put.
That's why we live and direct.
Pull out my gavel.
Hey, y'all, this is why
I got
we
a
live.
gavel for Jonathan. Keep him on tab.
Hey, this is why we live and direct.
He does the most.
Hey, this is the real though. This is what they want. They want the real. They don't want it edited. It's unfiltered.
So I told you guys,
just like the vinegar juice.
I'm the structured one, and Jonathan is the one's gonna be like pew 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 pew.
Tuck, what you think about them kids? Kid, wait, Tuck, you looking on the thing, and your 3 boys just sitting there with no food and everybody else eating, man. Could you wait on the lawyer, or you got to come down there and holler at them? Which one you gonna do?
No, we've had some experiences, with daycare.
Oh man.
And never really had the option to have that video camera footage, but that, oh yeah, I'm leaving work. I'm pulling up.
Yeah. Like
I'm pulling up.
I know somebody who had, she pops in every once in a while checking on her kid in daycare. Like, she get the cameras on the kid, and so she knows what's going on whenever she wants to. And I think that's so important. But is that what you were calling about?
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
oh, go ahead.
No, I said definitely. But I do think they handled it the right way, because sometimes you have to take your emotions out of it. Even though that's your child, you got to take your emotions out of it and really hit home. You got to hit them in the pocket.
Yep.
And you got to be strategic in your thinking and actions as well. And that's how you make these people change their ways. You going up there cutting up and acting a fool. Yeah, you get that off of you. But at the end of the day, what have you changed?
What did it resolve?
But the way they're going about it, they now have set a standard to where now this hold this daycare accountable, and they won't be able to do this to another child. And that's important as well.
Yeah. It said, King said, pre-COVID, school never knew she was coming. Yeah.
And see, just in case y'all didn't know, coming in late, it was a Kids Are Kids here in Roswell, Georgia, that was feeding all of the other kids, but the black kids just sitting there with no food at the table.
Yeah, waiting to be served. And we don't even really know what the full story is. You just know that there's video footage showing all the white kids had been served and were eating, and the black kids were just sitting there looking like, where's our plate? And
they tried to say it was dietary restrictions. I ain't biting.
No, ain't nobody falling for that. All the black kids have restrictions?
Right.
Come on. Nobody's falling for that. So does that mean they don't eat? So yeah. But Marcus, what was you wanted to say something? What did you call in for? Are you
I didn't want to. No topic.
No, yeah, we
I'm trying to pull up.
All right.
I called him out.
Okay.
I called him out.
That's all. It's all
I'm
good.
Go back to watching the show.
No, you good.
All
right.
Appreciate you calling in, Tuck.
Look, anybody else want to call in and you want to pull up, say with your chest, feel more than you're more than welcome to do so. The number is 770-376-7230.
Beverly said we're gonna be at the lawyer's office ASAP. See, Aunt Beverly, she gonna get that check. So y'all don't know my Aunt Beverly. She gonna get that check. You understand me? She gonna do it the right way. She ain't gonna break no sweat. She don't need to talk to him. She got somebody that's gonna do all the talking, and she gonna grab the check and do all the walking.
Yeah, and I think Marcus made a really good point. Is even your first instinct is to pop off. That's your first instinct. Like, that's my baby. We gonna take care of this right now. Come meet me outside. I'm flipping over tables. But what does that resolve? Like, what is that? What's the resolution other than you being caught on the news broadcast going to jail?
But I'm sick of it. It's like, come on now, it's 2021.
A lot of stuff I'm sick of. I tell you that. You say I'm going where the money resides.
Who said that? Oh man, no, you
where
didn't.
Where the money resides, exactly.
Where the money resides.
Get them where the pockets are. That's why even with this whole.
Oh, we see you, Van.
Voter law that I call voter suppression law that they've passed here in Georgia, and now all these big companies are getting ready to pull out. You're going to see what difference that makes after a while. People start producing movies here. You got the NBL, it's a Major League Baseball league taking the All-Star away. Yeah, and then like I said, movies pulling out. Now, Coke kind of giving Georgia this side eye, like that's revenue for the state that we're missing. They think it's just going to affect Atlanta, but they mess up Atlanta's money. They messing up the state of Georgia's money.
Yeah,
so
it's affecting the residents.
Yeah, and I'm saying, be who you are at home, but when you make yourself a public figure and you are feeding the masses, what about my HBCU?
So Van said he want to know about that Tennessee State. I should have asked Tuck about that while I had him on the phone.
Oh.
I should have asked Tuck about that. Hey, Tuck, I don't think y'all know. Now, let me say this. Now, y'all know about the Eddie George thing. Now, I got some word from a couple of folks that supposedly we getting the offensive coordinator, Hugh Jackson. He was an ex-coach meddling coach for either the Browns or Cincinnati. I think it was the Browns or Cincinnati. It was Hugh Jackson, but he's going to be the offensive coordinator. Jeff Fisher's son is the defensive coordinator, and Jeff Fisher is not going to be coaching, but they got him as an advisor. Mm-hmm. Now, supposedly, Rod Woodson is supposed to be doing DBs. That's what Blaine Bishop said. But they got Clamari there, so I'm trying to understand what's going on with that. Like, they just added Clamari. And then I heard they was trying to get Joe Bowden and Clyde Simmons for defensive line and linebackers. Now, I love the fact that I ain't gonna lie. I wish we was going to school during this time. You know, I used to always wish that like all the all-star players from Creek, Pearl, and Maplewood and Hunters Lane, and we would all just come to Tennessee State and just kill it. You know, I'll be honest, but I know it didn't work out like that, and life is not like that. But for all of these high-profile students, you know, back in the day when I talked to my dad, who's an alumni of Tennessee State, he would know parents who would purposely not have their kids go to Tennessee State or HBCU. You know, they would want their kid to go to Alabama or UT to get the exposure, to get a chance to go pro. But now it's like the parents don't even have to convince their kid to do it. Now it's like they want to be a part of their own heritage and blackness. And we're turning the corner on this thing. And we're going to see this in our generation.
Yeah.
Like we're really turning the corner on this thing.
Yeah. And
just
I think next week is our PWI HBCU experience episode. So I kind of wanted to kind of wait for that episode to kind of go there with this from my perspective. But, you know, I don't know, going to a PWI, I don't know if after everything we have experienced in the last 5 or 6 years, and had the you know, again, facing the choice, do I go to a PWI or HBCU, would I have still chosen in PWI school? I can't say that I would. I'm grateful for my experience. I'm grateful for my degrees and all that good stuff. But with the climate today, I just think it makes sense.
That banjo, let me play this.
I just think it makes sense that, you know, we start to elevate our HBCUs. Because I didn't go one does not mean I didn't go to one, does not mean I don't understand the significance or the importance of going to one. But when I had a choice and I made my choice then, but after this experience the country has been through, seeing young kids, prominent kids choose HBCUs.
Oh yeah.
Seeing our stars deciding to coach or teach at HBCUs, I think is a good look.
Now, Jahan, you telling me you wouldn't have came out there like that? Now you know we needed you out there. We needed you, Jahan, out there for that. What did you play?
Clarinet.
The clarinet.
Mm-hmm.
Want to give a good shout out to all the clarinets in the house and all the band members that kept us hype on the field, that made sure we fought until we could fight no more. It's nothing like HBCU band, baby. It feels so good.
Be clear about my stance on TSU. I didn't go to TSU. The reason I didn't go to TSU had nothing to do with how I felt about TSU. I grew up in a home where my dad was an alumni and where we went to TSU homecomings. We were at Southern Heritage Classic. I want to say we went to the first one. You know, we grew up with Big Blue. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But for me, my mom also went to UT Martin.
Right.
And growing up in our household, it was always that fun play thing, especially when it came to football. You know, with both schools being the OVC, you know, it was never a question about whether or not I was going to college. It was just which one.
Yeah.
And so even when I was making the decision, you know, I can go TSU or I can go to UT Martin, but I also applied to other schools. So I was going to go play soccer. I was going to, you know, I wanted to go to Bethune-Cookman, got accepted there. But for me, I chose a school that I thought would give me prepared for the real world. Better prepared for the real world. Not saying TSU couldn't have, but to be honest, everyone who were going to school, 90% of them were going to TSU. So these people who I've gone to school with since kindergarten, now I'm getting ready to go to college, and I was looking for a different experience.
Okay, so you said more networking experience and meeting new people.
A new perspective on life. Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, experience new things. Do experience something different. And knowing the field I wanted to go into, I wanted to make those connections, networking.
Right.
Because when I went to college, I planned on going into politics. I wanted to be a politician. And so, I thought that was a good way to build that network. I had a plan. And then, to be honest, I learned how to work with white people because it wasn't an experience I had before.
Okay.
And so, and when I say work with them, not because I care, I just cared that much about their opinion.
You have to be well-rounded.
But you got to know how people move and learn how they move. And, I lived with one for my first year. So I really got an inside scoop on, when they stop fake smiling in your face. Because, you can only pretend for so long, So, getting that exposure was priceless for me. Not saying it was just a cakewalk, but, you learn a lot. And I probably wouldn't have gotten some of that experience had I not gone to HBCU, but I also get the beauty of being around your people too. I get that
because they move like this on beat.
We'll talk about that next week, but I'm just gonna say this: I didn't miss Black folk in Martin. Let's just be real. In our school, you've been to our homecoming. We are
you met some good people. I'm glad
we are a small population. And even with the Greek community, we had our little bickering within ourselves. When it came time to be a united front, that was it. Like, we could probably bicker with each other, but you're not going to come for us.
No, you're not going to come
for us. Yeah.
And you have some good characteristics, I'm not saying we're opposites, but they say opposites attract. Mm-hmm. And I think we have a good balance here,
Yeah.
Between me and you, If you need somebody to take lead with the chocolate, if it's too chocolate, I can take the lead. Mm-hmm. And if it's too much Caucasus, then I definitely will give you the lead at all times.
Yeah, and I get what you're saying with that, but let's be clear, I'm still from North Nashville now. I'm not lacking chocolate by no means at all. I just perfected code switching.
Oh, you just say you're too honest for a politician.
You know that, and you're too honest, and I'm too real. Because some of my homegirls joked about that. Back in the day, we had social media, but none of us had jobs now. So, yeah, I want to work for the people. I want to be involved, but I want to do it behind the scenes. I don't want nobody Googling me, put my business on the streets. I wouldn't have made it as a politician. You're right, Aunt Eunice. I wouldn't have.
We got 10 minutes. We don't want to keep y'all tonight. We appreciate it.
This has been longer than we planned on going.
Yeah, really. We're going to do just 10 more minutes.
And we still got more topics, but that's all right. We'll
just
save
do one more. Yeah, just what else we got?
We had the relationships, keeping our relationships solid, being 40 when, people have kids. And,
that ain't spicy enough. Next, we want something hot and spicy.
Well, it kind of is, Jonathan. If you let me finish my statement, that's rude.
Spicy. Go ahead. What's next?
So you got relationships, trying to maintain your relationship when you have kids and you're working and, you still trying to, be a wife, be a husband, but also still be a homegirl, homeboy when necessary, when you're trying to, juggle work. See, your face, I took it away. I don't even want to talk about it.
No, I think because, dealing with COVID, we're not hanging with our friends as much as we used to.
I'm talking about life. We were 40 before COVID. People are have families and wives and kids. Speak for yourself,
Cougar. I turned 40 during COVID, Cougar.
No, you didn't. No, you did not, Jonathan.
Wow.
You did not.
Wow.
You're not a year younger than me. You're 19 days younger than me.
Wow. Hey, look up Cougar, a woman who was older. They didn't put in the amount of time. 19 days, 19 years is still. Okay. I'm sorry. I just like to kid with her. Them 19 days. Clearly, she's the more mature one. But that's fine. Everybody got their role.
It's right, Marcus. Bordeaux is in the house, and
Something
yeah,
to
the and then Kenya, that program you're talking about. I don't even know if you can. We'll post that
Let me get the
information. I
gavel.
don't know if it's
Where's the
still.
gavel? Hey, what else? What other topics we got? We need something hot and spicy. I'm trying to see what else.
Come up with the hot spices because
You got it.
we did import. We talked about this. Rules of turning 40, maintaining physical and mental health. We kind of touched on that already. Maintaining relationships and the importance of self-care.
Don't let yourself go to waste. Yeah, I gotta. Is that what you're saying? Like, don't let yourself
self-care
go to
period.
waste?
Taking care of yourself. Go to waste, because we've kind of touched on it. If you're not taking care of yourself, you can't take care of nobody else. Who's going to trust you to be a CEO or be a manager when you don't appear to manage yourself well? So you got to take care of yourself.
I see. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you got, and the older we get, we got to take care of our skin better. We, got to take care of our hair. Like for me, like I recently cut all my hair off because, I got tired of trying to keep up with coloring it and all that stuff. And it was, eating my hair up. So, I made a decision to cut my hair off so it could be healthy. And when my hair looks good, I feel good. When my skin is clear, I feel better about myself. All of that's important. Getting sleep. When we were younger, we can go work
24.
Party all night, take an hour nap, if any, and then get to work and still be productive.
Yeah.
Now, those approaching 40, or if they're not there yet, we can't do that. Like, I need my sleep. I gotta sleep, because if I don't sleep, I can't function. I can't be productive. So that's what I mean by self-care. Just making sure you're doing what you gotta do to take care of yourself. And I think when you take care of yourself, you feel good about yourself. And when you feel good about yourself, you're more productive. And when you're more productive, you can be more value to the world and your family. So that's what I mean by self-care.
You know what? I don't know if we should cover it or not, but addiction is a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Because you got some relationships where one may be addicted to alcohol,
mm-hmm.
one may be addicted to smoking,
mm-hmm.
Addicted to women outside of the relationship, or my addiction, which is food. Like, I be thinking, I get it, an addiction is an addiction, whether it's cigarettes, smoke, weed, whatever, is one harder than the other one to give up? That is the question. Can one addiction be easier to overcome than compared to the other one? Because when I tell you, the food one is so hard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you're right, Jimmy. I think that is, you have to learn how to manage whatever it is. And is one addiction easier than the other? I wouldn't say that it is. I think an addiction is addiction, no matter what it is. What you have to do is figure out how to manage it, though. And I think some of that comes with that point, with self-care. Is this good for me? And you got to sometimes figure out, how can I get to the point to where I care more about me than my addiction? And then you manage it. I can remember when I went through what I thought was the lowest point in my life, after, I had been laid off and was off work for a while. And that's when my mental health issues started kind of, manifest, because I think it's something it may have always been there, but I was able to balance it by staying busy. Like I kept myself busy to not worry about being sad, that type of thing. And so now here it is, I don't have work. I was in a sorority life, but that wasn't really working out well. I wasn't my best self at that time, and I started to kind of explode, like just deconstruct, almost. And so I got into a pattern of being impulsive to where it was addictive, and to the point like it was gratifying at that moment. Then once it was over, I didn't have, it was like, now what? Problems I was trying to run from were still there. So what did I do? I'd be impulsive about something else to kind of, I had to get to the point to where, okay, Jahan, this is not healthy. This is not good. at this point now, I'm a burden on my family and friends because they're trying to help me get through this. I gotta figure that out, and I think not having a drug addiction or or anything like that, that's I had to say to myself, Jahan, you gotta get it together. And I don't know if that's as easy or just as easy for someone struggling with food addiction or drinking or drugs, but I think that's the first step, is to figure out is this bigger than me?
But you know what? Having somebody in your corner, family, and your spouse to help you in these hard times of life, of being over 40, whether it's health, addiction, work, y'all don't understand how priceless how priceless it is. I'm sure you do, because you're living it just like we are. How priceless it is to either because you coming home to somebody, or you wish you could come home to somebody that would be understanding in the troubles of what you go through. Because like I said, with dialysis, they ask you, if you get in a situation where you're in the hospital and the plug needs to be pulled, do you want us to keep you on? Do you want us to just plug it? They ask us all the time, do you feel like you want to kill yourself? And I'll be like, man, why are they asking these questions? And one of the nurses broke it down and like, look around, Jonathan. A lot of these people don't have people at home who can cheerlead them or help them out or have something to come home and look forward to, and that's what no matter what we all are going through, somebody has it worse.
Yeah.
And I always have to think that. Now, this is another topic.
Remember that.
But I be trying to tell my sweet little wife that when it comes to like work and life, I always believe that no matter what it is, if there's more than one door or option in life, I tend to not get stressed. I get stressed when there's only one way out. I just had to give in to when it's only like one way. But if there's still options on the table, I just don't get stressed, period. Like even with the dialysis, well, I had a different kind of mental stress. I had a stress because like here it is, we fixing to get married. We supposed to be going on trips. And talking about going out of town. I don't trust going to another country, getting connected to a machine and running my blood through a machine in another country. I'm sorry. I just don't feel that good right now doing that. So it's hindering us from being able to go, for me to be comfortable. Now, here's what's so crazy. They have this, like if you want to go on a cruise, and I'm going to stop so we can get off. They call it dialysis at sea. Now, normally you get a cruise, you see them cruise packages, $400, $600. Man, that dialysis at the sea is $3,000 a piece. Y'all must be crazy.
$3,000 a piece.
$3,000.
We do that with old people.
Yeah, and be there with a whole bunch of old people.
Yeah, who wants to do that?
They do have these portable machines, and I thought about getting them, but then I don't want it all in the house. Jahan ain't gonna be able to stick me in the arm. Well, that's a whole nother question. I mean, that's a whole nother show. Look here, y'all. I just want to say I thank y'all so much, man. Y'all hanging in there tight, and we're not gonna forget you. Jahan don't know I'm gonna speak it into existence. When Tyler Perry pick our show up.
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna remember my family, and we gonna record something live in Nashville, and we're gonna put some people on.
Yeah.
When we get on, we gonna put some people on.
Yeah.
And that's a for sure right on. Any closing remarks?
Well, just thank you guys for joining us tonight. Thank you for bearing with us. We are still figuring this thing out, but it's episode 2. I kind of started this program thinking like, hey, let's go ahead and do it because we committed to doing these every week, and it may not be on Sundays, but we're gonna post every week. Just ignore the slides I already made. We kind of started off thinking, look, we got a lot going on. When we decided to go on this venture, we had no intentions on some of the things that's come up in our life happening. I don't like to talk about things until the ink is dry, and so I don't want to go too much in detail, but we may or may not be be able to do this every week because, you know, we may have to take care of some other things that have kind of come up. All blessings, nothing to be concerned about. But we wanted to be straightforward. Yeah. We kind of rushed to pull this episode together, but I think it worked
made
out.
It a success.
Yeah, I think it kind of worked out. So we're just gonna play it by ear, but just know if we don't come on next week or on Sunday, we will come on and we'll do what we can do to make sure we get better at this and it grows.
We're taking all topic questions. If you want to say it with your chest, give us some kind of ideas. But what we do need to do, Jahan, is do a section where we can let some people tell favor that they're getting in their relationship. I don't think people understand
life, period.
In life. If you just try to treat people like with decency and respect,
testimony segment or something.
Yeah. And let's tell some of these good things. That's happening to us in life and how God is blessing us.
Yeah.
Because we see so much bad in the world. It's just good to always hear somebody. If you genuinely like to hear good people have a good situation happen to them, other than yourself.
Yeah. You want some people to win.
Yeah, we want some people to win.
Want people to win. So I guess you got that's a good statement. Yeah, let's do a I don't know what we can call it, but have people come on like, hey, how did you win this week? It doesn't have to be a relationship because everybody's not in a relationship, and that's life after 40.
Yeah, new job.
Yeah, whatever it is. Yeah, let's bring them up. Let's talk about it. Let's get it out there. I'm with that. I like that.
Or even something in the past, like you really was down to your last, and all of a sudden, just out of nowhere. That's
God made it happen.
We go through these things so we can really express what God's glory has done for each and every one of us.
Yeah.
We don't go through this for nothing. Yeah. So I think we should.
I don't know if my Aunt Beverly is on still because I know she was doing a workshop and we might have her come on and kind of talk about that too. But it was like preparing for life and getting yourself to succeed after the pandemic. And on the last class we were doing kind of the same thing, talking about things that we got blessings we got out of that course. And I have to pull the book up and we can talk about it later too. But a lady said something that it just enriched my life, and that was sometimes God put us through things not for us but for somebody else. And that's like one of those gems that I put in my pocket, and when I go through things and I don't know how I'm gonna get through things, I just remember that sometimes God will bless you, or he will put you through some, a challenge so you can get through it and help somebody else. So that's why I think it's important that, John Marcus is calling them success stories. We share those things because how you got over can help somebody else.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, God got you over so you can share that story with somebody else to help them get over.
Totally agree.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, we should probably do that.
Well.
All right, y'all.
That's all I got. I guess I might as well leave y'all with some of that Tennessee State love. And some of that. Go ahead.
Yeah. So you were saying like topics, questions or whatever. Our topic next week is, the PWI HBCU experience.
That's next week.
That's next week. Yeah.
I gotta get my Tennessee State shirt.
Oh, geez. If you have questions or topics or things you want to discuss, if you want to be a guest, please hit us up, inbox us, or send an email to the the email address is the jnjshow14@gmail.com. The jnjshow14@gmail.com.
Or you can call us.
Or you can call us. Or inbox us to the group.
And that's a for sure right now.
Or if you hit us up individually and we'll work it out. But whatever questions or topics or things you want to know, if you went to a HBCU college and have a question about the PWI experience or vice versa, send to us and we'll make it a topic on the show and even have you bring it on and discuss it if you want. All right. Well, that's it, you guys. We thank y'all. Good night.
We appreciate you. The Jonathan and Jahan show has been. I got to get that in part. The Jonathan and Jahan show has been brought to you by Jonathan Walker and Jahan Walker. And we want to just thank our Touch Me Tuesday family and close family and friends who came to enjoy the show tonight. The show would be nothing without you. And we just want to say thank you. And you're just another part of me. Hey!
Also, all of our topics, opinions, thoughts, and all that good stuff is hours and hours long. It does not in any way represent that of the companies we work for or organizations that we're in. I got to put it out there.
Ooh, I like that. Look at you with that's that HR talking.
Yes, sir. Risk management right there.
Okay, risk
Don't be
management.
trying to report me to my job because you didn't like something I said.
Just in case y'all didn't know, we're going to do a spinoff, HR Talk. I don't know. What's the name of the show? I know a little something.
Oh, yeah. I'm not an expert, but I know a little something. I know a little something.
She said she's not an expert, but she know a little something. It's going to be HR Talk. We're going to try to help somebody close the deal on a new job.
Yeah. Job, just career advice,
And
working through
too.
situations.
Yeah,
too. Getting your resume together and stuff, all that stuff. I mean, whatever I have, I'm going to try to help you out with it.
Yeah. Because guess what? Each and every one of y'all is just another part of us. We all cut from the same cloth. It's nothing but family up in here, baby. And we all know, hey, we all grew up on this. All of us. Either we was babies. When this came out, we was either babies or we was in our teens or we was in our 20s in college
Jackson,
or we was a parent whooping one of our behinds. See, I ain't gonna get started. This ain't no Touch Me Tuesday like that. Hey.
Because this show getting ready, DJ, and we don't have time for that.
All right, y'all. We out. Go ahead and hit that. Hey. I want to thank you. Hey.